From the Grand Ballroom at Le Montage in Sydney, Australia, it's the 24th Ethnic Business Awards, brought to you by founding partners, the National Australia Bank and the Ethnic Business Awards organisation. We begin with the Welcome to Country from Gumaroy Newman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can we all say Yama? Yama is only one of 600 totally different ways to say hello in the Aboriginal languages of Australia. I'm a very proud Gamilaroi and Waka Waka man from northwestern parts of New South Wales and southwest Queensland. I would like to acknowledge a very simple fact. Right now we are sitting, wining, dining and celebrating the 2012 Ethnic Business Awards on the land of the Gadigal people of the Greater Eora Nation. Could we have a round of applause for these beautiful custodians, please? Now, the Eora Nation is made up of 29 clans. They're bounded by 3 very mighty rivers. You've got the Hawkesbury up in the north. Out to the west, you've got the Nepean River. Down south, you've got the Georges River. Inside this Eora Nation, 29 very important clans. Now, our culture is all about acknowledgement. Nothing in this life is ever ours to own and keep. So I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge all of my beautiful elders, both past and present. In my language, we say, Yama, Yowe, Nyenda Garigal Dara Gabanyamba, Garigal Eora, Yowe. Nayaganya Gomaroy, Nayaganya Waka Waka Gabanya. Tabi Abrai, Yowe. Thank you very much. That's an example of my grandmother's language. Now, I'd like to leave on parting with a few words from my grandfather's language. Well, actually, my great-grandfather's language. Would you like to hear it? It's a very ancient language, and I've been to the beautiful country about 3 times. And it sounds something like, Buongiorno, Come stai, and ciao. Thank you very much. Your way.
Please welcome your host for this evening, respected journalist, presenter, travel writer and long-time supporter of the Ethnic Business Awards, Miss Tracy Spicer.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that lovely welcome. I am, as always, delighted to be here to share with you an evening that's fast becoming an institution, both a landmark and a signpost in the Australian business landscape. Our thanks to the Gadigal people, the traditional owners of the land, for their generosity in embracing this event, and to Gumaroy Newman for that wonderful welcome to country. That was one of the most passionate welcome to countries I've ever seen, talking about the language and the history of our Indigenous people. So thank you, Gumaroy. It's already shaping up to be a spectacular celebration of multiculturalism, and we've barely begun. I'd like to greet the many dignitaries here tonight. A warm welcome to the Prime Minister, the Honourable Julia Gillard, and the Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Tony Abbott. Welcome to you and to all of our distinguished guests and award finalists. It's tremendous to see you all here beside the bay at Sydney's beautiful Le Montage for the 2012 Ethnic Business Awards. We have some special treats in store tonight as we herald the achievements of our finalists, the last remaining 12 from more than 500 nominations that flooded in from all over Australia. As Joseph Asaf, the founder of these awards, says in his book, the beauty of the human race is derived from the diversity of its cultures, just like the beauty of a rainbow is derived from the diversity of its colours. And this year's nominees were indeed a veritable rainbow of cultures, ethnicities, religions and personal circumstance. They were comprised of a mixture of refugees, business migrants, family reunions and sponsored migrants. As you'll soon see, they've all come to Australia with hopes and dreams to pursue, obstacles to overcome and challenges to be met. As Joseph has also said, with the benefit of his own experience, of course, if you know Joseph's story, when your suitcase is empty, there's plenty of room for dreams. The dreams and stories of our finalists are just a few among many, and all of them in their way are equally inspiring. For 3 years now, since the inception of the Indigenous Business Award, These migrant stories have stood alongside those of our Indigenous nominees, all of whom have had their own very different difficulties to overcome, their challenges very different, but their hopes and aspirations are very much the same: to succeed, to lead by example, and to make a genuine contribution not only to Indigenous Australia, but to the economy and society as a whole. The achievements of our finalists have been measured with these very factors in mind. That's probably part of the reason why the Ethnic Business Awards have continued to flourish for almost a quarter of a century. Can you believe that? The 24th Ethnic Business Awards. I think that deserves a round of applause. We'll be bringing you some fascinating speakers along with brilliant international entertainment as we send the awards message to Australia and the world through our broadcast partners. They include SBS, which has been broadcasting these awards since their inception, the Australia Network, the Aurora Community Channel, the National Indigenous Television Network and TVBA. We also have representatives here tonight from all of our media partners, including El Telegraph, Indian Link, Top Korean Weekly, the 1688 Chinese Newspaper Group, Singtao, Chujung, Neos Cosmos and Black Biz. The generosity of such sponsors ensures the continued success of these awards is shared with a huge audience. But of course, we wouldn't be here without our other sponsors, particularly the founding partner, the National Australia Bank, which has been a major sponsor for all of those 24 years. We also thank the Department of Immigration and Citizenship, Hill and Knowlton, Astra Limousines, eWeb Marketing for their continued support. It's always a pleasure to welcome and thank new sponsors as well. The Diversity Council of Australia is a perfect fit into the Ethnic Business Awards family. We also welcome on board China Southern Airlines, the Department of Industry, Innovation, Science, Research and Tertiary Education, the Shangri-La Hotel Sydney and the Navara Group. A big thanks to all of our sponsors. And now, before a bit more entertainment and more formal proceedings, a short break. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Tracy Spicer.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Now, many people have donated their time and energy to ensure the success of this evening, not least among them our panel of judges who came up with our 12 finalists tonight. 4 in the small business category, 4 in the medium to large business category, and 4 in the Indigenous business group. Every year our judges do a remarkable job making what must be almost impossible decisions in choosing the best of the best because, as you'll soon see, all of these people are winners. Our judges, fortunately, are well qualified to make the final determination because they too are all winners in their chosen fields. I'd like to introduce them to you, but first a few words from one of our judging mainstays who unfortunately is unable to be here with us tonight, Mr. Don Argus.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies for my non-attendance tonight. I'm sure I'm going to miss a great evening. It's also great to see our Prime Minister, Ms Julia Gillard, there tonight, along with the Leader of the Opposition, Tony Abbott. I'm sure they'll add to the excitement of the room, and it'll be a fabulous evening. For those winners, congratulations on your success. I'm sure the common theme that comes through in all of these presentations is perseverance and dedication, and that was certainly evident in the various applications that I saw. For the losers, it's also a great night for you. I think your contribution makes this sort of an evening, and it's quite uplifting actually to see the quality of the initiatives undertaken by the various business sectors under the Ethnic Business Awards. Well done to everyone and have a great night.
Don Argus there, ladies and gentlemen. Don is a Companion of the Order of Australia and a recipient of the Centenary Medal for Service to Australian Society through Business. Philanthropist, conservationist and former CEO and Managing Director of the National Australia Bank, as he mentioned. He's also a former chairman of BHP Billiton, a leader in the mining and finance industries and a terrific supporter of Australian communities through his executive roles in conservation, health and charitable and sporting organisations. Our thanks to Don. Also, unfortunately unable to be here tonight is Mr Alan Gyngell. An officer of the Order of Australia, Alan is the Director-General of the Office of National Assessments. He has a wide background in international policy making and analysis, has written and spoken extensively on Australian foreign policy, Asian relations and the development of global and regional institutions. Alan was the founding director of the Lowy Institute for International Policy and has made a huge contribution to the development of public and governmental debate on foreign and security policy. He's a long-time supporter of these awards, so please thank Alan Gyngell. Another powerhouse in the world of business is professional director and business consultant Eve Crestani. Eve specialises in strategic project management and business solution implementation. She's chairman of Mercer Superannuation Australia and a director of Australian Unity and Zurich Australia. She's a member of the ASX Disciplinary Tribunal, founding fellow of the Australian Institute of Company Directors and an emeritus trustee for the Committee for the Economic Development of Australia. She consults to large Australian and international organisations, currently working with KPMG on its strategic property portfolio. No one knows where Eve finds the time to judge the Ethnic Business Awards, but she does, and it's her 12th year. So thank you so much, Eve. Appointed an Officer of the Order of Australia for his committed service to Indigenous communities is Mr Joseph Ellew. Joseph is the current chairman of the Cape York Resource Management Board, a board member on the Torres Strait Regional Authority and Indigenous Community Volunteers. He's chairman of CCA Enterprise Proprietary Limited and brings a tremendous knowledge and expertise to all the judging categories, in particular the Indigenous area of the awards. Joining the EBA family 2 years ago, he's been an invaluable addition to our judging panel, and he has a tremendous sense of humour if you want to have a chat with him later this evening. Joseph, thank you for your work. And finally, a member of the EBA judging panel right from the beginning, the lady who so generously provides me with the most beautiful dresses every year, the incomparable Gala Zampatti. A Companion of the Order of Australia, Gala is also a Commendatore in the Order of Merit in the Italian Republic. Gala has at various times been named Bulletin Qantas Businesswoman of the Year and Designer of the Year, an icon in the fashion industry and retailing and an inveterate contributor to multicultural broadcasting. She's widely recognised as a role model and mentor for women right throughout Australia. Gala Zampatti, for both your dress and your dedication to these awards, a very big thank you. Our 5 judges, ladies and gentlemen, when the nominations continue to be so wide-ranging and of such a high calibre, theirs is not an easy task. There is also, I'm sure, quite a lot of emotion involved in the process. Many of these stories, as you'll soon see, are incredibly moving. In fact, one of the main difficulties our judges have is to find a balance between the actual business success of an enterprise and the personal story behind it. In the end, though, these are business awards and business success is the main criterion. But you know, for me and for a lot of people in this room and watching tonight, the stories are the most moving and exciting aspects of the nominations. We'll be looking at both those successes and those stories soon. In the meantime, put your hands together for those hard-working judges. It's an impossible task. By the end of tonight, the Ethnic Business Awards will, over its 24 years, have handed out 74 of these beautiful trophies behind me. And Prime Minister Julia Gillard will have joined an illustrious list of people to have graced its stage. Let's take a look at some of them.
those of you who are here tonight as finalists in these Ethnic Business Awards, it is a great thing that you are here. You are our automatic bridge to the world, and so much that we do in commerce, in export, in import, in trade and investment, and what is now the worldwide economy transacted digitally. You form such natural, wonderful, diverse, fluent, culturally sensitive human bridges to the rest of the world that you are for us an enormous national strength and one to be celebrated.
As Australians, we pride ourselves on our ethnic diversity, our innovation, our entrepreneurship, and of course, excellence. And it's these very qualities that are celebrated tonight through the Ethnic Business Awards.
We're taking the chance to highlight the tremendous achievements and efforts of some Australians who've come to this country, have not started with the natural advantage of knowing it, and have done things that are special, which we can all identify with and which we can all celebrate. And that's really, I think, what the Ethnic Business Awards are about.
Diversity creates unity. That unity, born of diversity, creates opportunity. Multiculturalism is Australia's competitive advantage in the global marketplace.
The Ethnic Business Awards, coming of age tonight, have long been a feature of our splendid multicultural landscape. They pay tribute to the extraordinary achievement and contribution of people born on shores other than our own. They are a yearly reminder of our rich diversity.
It's not possible to think of the economic growth of Australia over the last 30 or 40 years without thinking of the massive contribution that have been made by the group loosely called Ethnic Australians to the development of our country.
It's quite some lineup, isn't it? When Joseph Asif arrived in Australia, literally in someone else's shoes, opened his own empty suitcase and began to put together this particular dream, I bet he never imagined it could be quite so successful. Or perhaps he did, because Joseph is one of those people who sees no barriers between imagining success and grabbing it with both hands. It's my great pleasure to introduce to you the founder, chairman, and a major sponsor of the Ethnic Business Awards, the leader of a dedicated team which puts this together every year, himself an immigrant from Lebanon, a business achiever and published author, champion of multiculturalism in Australia, a man who's dubbed every migrant a mini economic stimulus package. Isn't that a terrific quote? Please welcome to the stage my friend, Mr. Joseph Asif.
Thank you, Tracy. You are so kind and a great host of these awards. Good evening. And to the Prime Minister, Ms. Julia Gillard, the Leader of the Opposition, Sir Tony Abbott, heads and representatives of diplomatic missions represented here tonight, honourable members, senators, ministers, esteemed judges, valued sponsors, members of the media, guests, and of course our finalists tonight. To all of you, a very warm welcome. Yes, I am, as Tracy said, an immigrant. And yes, I do believe that an empty suitcase has more room for dreams. And yes, I have described every migrant as being a mini economic stimulus package, because migrants bring to their new home their own market requirements, their own needs, and their own ability to service those needs. So yes, I do believe that multiculturalism is alive and well in the business world here in Australia. All of our finalists tonight have faced a myriad of different challenges. They have had to build their own networks, find their own pathways to success, and then, with each success under their belts, plan and execute the next step and overcome the next challenge. Drawn from over 500 nominations, which came from all the states and territories and represented a huge diversity of businesses, races, cultural backgrounds, religions, and languages, these finalists, both Indigenous and migrants, collectively epitomize the notion that excellence is the child of diversity. I congratulate each and every one of them on their enterprise. Every nominee is a winner, but the biggest winner of all is Australia, which has been enriched by their contribution to our business soundscape, and what an increasingly rich soundscape it is becoming. Our land, it seems, abounds not only in nature's gifts, but in the gifts of many nations and cultures working in and for harmony. The business of supporting multiculturalism is very good business indeed, because multiculturalism is not a passing fancy. It's not a hobby. It's not a government policy or a nice thing to do or a marketing opportunity. Equally, diversity is not a choice. It's not an option or a public relations exercise or an employee relations program. In Australia, diversity is a fact of life, and multiculturalism is a way of life. Without diversity, there can be no harmony, because harmony is the coordination of differences, while monotony is the absence of differences. Our differences cannot be managed or productively harnessed without tolerance and the respect of a freedom, because in true harmony, every voice, every note, every color, every contribution has its place, and that place must be recognized. Diversity must include every culture and exclude none, which is why the contribution of the earliest migrants, the very first settlers, the Indigenous Australian, is now a part of this symphony. Without that well-conducted symphony of differences, we would have not harmony, but discord, or just as bad, monotony, and all the things that implies status, lack of inspiration, lack of growth, lack of excitement. Personally, I am all for the noisy, complicated, exciting symphony, where everything is included and nothing is left out. The principles of tolerance and freedom I mentioned also happen to be some of the fundamentals of democracy. They are the things that a true democracy aims for. At its best, it coordinates its differences, harnesses them for the greatest good, and enjoys and celebrates the outcomes. It's very encouraging then for me to see tonight two of our leading maestros living out this notion by example, sharing a table at this event, sharing in not just the celebration, but in food, conversation, the acknowledgement and acceptance of the common ground offered, this hospitality, and the need to set aside political differences in support of a shared ideal. Prime Minister, Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition, Julia, Tony, welcome to my table. Ahlan wa sahlan. welcome to my house of diversity. Next year, on our 25th anniversary, I believe we will be doing this at your house in the Parliament. And to celebrate that quarter-century milestone, we will be bringing back the top 12 finalists selected from the winners and finalists of all those years, and we will be choosing the champion of champions. Our celebration also happens to coincide with Canberra's centennial celebration, the beginning of another 100 years of democracy, and hopefully of harmony, of increasingly productive diversity, and more of the wonderful and inspiring stories like the ones you will hear tonight. Our finalists don't need me to wish them luck. They brought their own luck to the lucky country. Let us enjoy it together. Thank you and good evening. It is now my great pleasure to welcome to the stage our guest of honor, the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Ms. Julia Gillard.
Thank you very much. I start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, and in a spirit of reconciliation, paying my respects to elders past and present. Thank you to Mr Newman for his welcome to country. Can I acknowledge as well two very special people. To Joseph, it's a pleasure to be at your table. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. I am going to look forward to welcoming you in Canberra next year. And in order to make that happen, I've needed over the table to negotiate the election date with Joseph. But I just want to remind, it's a secret, Joseph, so don't tell Tony at any stage of the night. Can I also acknowledge and honour Angela, a part of a powerful partnership. Thank you for all of your efforts. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Joseph and Angela and for their work and determination that we should all come together on a night like this to honour the role of our ethnic communities and our ethnic business leaders in particular. To Joseph, who arrived from Lebanon 45 years ago with a suitcase of dreams, worked in a factory at night to put himself through university, and is now one of Australia's foremost multicultural business leaders. This is his way of giving back. And for Angela, this is also a labour of love, and we wouldn't be here without her patience and support. So thank you to both of them for everything they do for this nation. Friends, we should never underestimate the boldness of the decision taken by my predecessor, Ben Chifley, to open the doors to mass migration almost 7 decades ago. Yes, we had small ethnic communities, like the Chinese who'd been attracted by the gold rush, and the Italians who came to work in the cane fields in the 1920s. But overwhelmingly, when Ben Chifley took that decision, we were a small, insular, homogeneous community, and then we were asked to embrace profound and lasting change. And yes, it's worked. Immigration has worked, and it's worked because we made it work. We accepted that our nation would never be defined by race or ethnicity like so many other countries. Instead, we would define ourselves by our values and our way of life, our love of freedom and democracy, our egalitarian cast of mind, and our relaxed outdoor lifestyle, our willingness to work hard and to play fair. And we said that anyone who embraced these things could be called an Australian. Friends, that's the decision my parents made. That's the decision you and your parents made around so many kitchen tables in Sicily and Saigon, Beirut and Bangalore, All these decisions converged from the 4 points of the earth upon this land, its future and its possibilities. In a sense, this is the story of two journeys: our journey of post-war immigration and our journey of economic modernisation, and how they have intertwined across these extraordinary decades. Australia was a great country before post-war migration, but migrants showed us a way to make it a greater nation still. Ethnic businesses are a big part of the story. Your hard work and self-sacrifice are legendary, from the smallest corner store to the greatest enterprises founded by migrant pioneers like Westfield, to business leaders like Ahmed Fahor at Australia Post. And so many of you have invested time in building links between Australia and the countries from which you've come. Our parents didn't come here just because they sought jobs or prosperity. They came because they saw a country worth believing in, a place so compelling they were willing to leave everything they knew and loved to be a part of it. And here, on these bountiful shores, they would repay freedom and opportunity with effort and excellence, the very effort and excellence represented in these awards and in the remarkable men and women who receive them tonight. On behalf of all Australians, I thank you for all that you have given to our country, united in our diversity and unafraid of the future. Let's seize the opportunities together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister, for those wise words. I do not think we can say those three words enough. Immigration has worked. I feel like putting it up on a poster. Thank you so much. A very special treat now as we welcome to the stage our first entertainment for this evening, the brilliant Yadaki Eulogy. wasn't that tremendous? We are so privileged to have such a rich Indigenous culture in this country. That was Yidaki Eulogy featuring Gummeroy Newman, David, Turtle and Stedman, one of Australia's most celebrated Indigenous entertainment groups. And it's easy to see why. That was Murray Gubba Yuggle, Blackfella Whitefella, by Gunga Geary, vocals by Gummeroy Newman from the album Beats Around the Bush. And what a perfect way to take us to the first category of our awards tonight for excellence in Indigenous business. To give us an idea of what the judges have had to look at, Tom Gericke and his team at Worldwide Pictures have put together some compelling footage to introduce each of these finalists as we call them up on stage to give them their certificates of achievement. This is in random order, so if you're placing bets, don't put any stock in who comes up first. Let's begin with a finalist not quite from the back of Burke, but actually Burke itself. It's Darren Jackson Electrical.
My name is Darren Jackson. I'm a Camilla man, and the name of my company is Darren Jackson Electrical. I suppose living in a rural community, you've got to be nearly a jack of all trades. So we do industrial, we do domestic, we do rural, we do commercial. We encounter different types of electrical problems every day, so we can't really just specialise in one thing out here. When I was doing my apprenticeship, I used to work 2 jobs. You know, I'd do 10 or 12 hours a day with my apprenticeship, and I used to go and work at the local bowling club till midnight most nights just to try and get ahead, because I knew that all this extra income I would definitely, you know, put me in good stead to start my own business down the track. I just finished my apprenticeship and I'd had enough money saved, and I went down to the Big Smoke of Sydney and bought myself a second-hand van and a few rolls of cable and just a bit of general word of mouth, and that's how it's all started. It was a very trying time because we were in the middle of our drought. My whole plan was to draw a very minimal wage, because I knew I just want to invest the money back into the business, and so if I took a minimal wage, it would keep the cash flow positive. And yeah, it was a very trying time for the first 12 months, but you know, we've ensured a slow, steady growth and everything seems to be going well, so I'm very fortunate how it's all worked out. My electrical parts actually come from Dubbo, which is 4 hours west of where I live, which is very challenging because a lot of our work involves urgent, you know, essential call-outs. And I think the key to doing business in a rural and remote community is you've got to be ultra organised. So you've got to nearly have the stock on hand, you've got to be on the pulse. My business has actually undertaken a bit of the Department of Housing maintenance, where I engage local subcontractors to undertake other types of work like plumbing and building. You know, that's sort of created an extra income and business to my business. We've got 4 full-time staff now, and with the extra work that we're doing with the Department of Housing, it engages up to probably 10 local subcontractors. For my business to continue to grow, I'm probably going to have to employ more staff, which is very challenging in a remote community to find the staff, but it's something that I will have to do in the future. My greatest contribution to the community, I would say, would be giving Indigenous people like myself an opportunity to do an apprenticeship. And you know, if I can give back to my community, you know, I think it's a tremendous thing. Especially being a small community, you've got to, you know, support and be charitable to all the different organisations, whether it's the rugby league team, junior rugby league team, our cricket teams, our hockey, our soccer teams. I'd like to think I'm very involved in the community. There's a lot of government handouts for businesses these days, and you know, I'm very proud to say that I've never received a handout, and I've done it all through hard work. Australia is a place where if you really want to work hard, you will reap the results. I still remember my dad, he's been a big influence on me, and he always told me, he said, son, there's only 2 ways in which you get ahead in this world, through good fortune or through hard work. And while we can't always guarantee good fortune, you can always guarantee hard work. You only get out what you put in, and if you want to work hard and put the hours in, then you'll reap the rewards.
Darren Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Next, from the Northern Territory, it's Bradley Seafood.
My name's Yvonne Bradley, and our company name is Bradley Seafood, and I'm a Waka Waka woman. We catch mud crabs, wild caught, from the pristine waters of the Gulf of Carpentaria. We send them to Darwin and are distributed out around Australia. I was born in Winton in Queensland, and we moved into Rockhampton. I was 11 kids, but being the eldest girl, I had to do everything, and I did miss a lot of education, and years down the track I went back to college. Well, my husband asked would I like a sea change. He's always been a bushie through and through, and so I sold everything up and we went from a 4-post bed to a swag and never looked back. It is very remote. Sometimes we mightn't see anybody for 4 to 6 months during the wet season. And we lived in a tent for 2.5 years and I had my first child, and she was 8 weeks preemie. On the way into town, because I was in such pain, we got stranded in the Weirian River and got help out with the tractor, and then we got into Borroloola and the doctor said there's no planes until the next day, and we said, my husband said, well, I can drive, I can get there quicker than the plane can get here. So the headlights fell out, the gearbox blew up and the diff didn't sound too good, but we managed to get there. Yeah, we get up some 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
I don't think I'll be having breakfast with the Queen this morning.
It could be rough, it could be smooth, you just don't know, it's just unpredictable. Sometimes the floats, you can't find them, they might have been in and out in the channel by the tide, so you've got to make sure you find them and put them back where they belong. And sometimes we lose them because they get run over or the sharks damage them. Yeah, there's crocs there, they chew the floats. I think they just like playing with them. We do it every day, 365 days of the year. Then you're making pots every day, we're doing maintenance, and I do the ordering of food and motor parts, answering the phone, then I do all my bookwork, I do the accounting as well, and then they get shipped to our distributor, NT Mud Crabs, and he distributes them to restaurants, but firstly he's got to sort them out in A grades, B grades, and make sure that they're healthy, and then they get flown every Thursday to Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane. We're trying to work with the fisheries to make it sustainable, and it's doing research and maybe have a closure season for breeding and things like that. So we're actually helping fisheries with research as well. In 2009, I won the Northern Territory Small Business Telstra Award. We'd like to process our own crabs down the track and be John West Salmon of Australia, but the mud crab version. Motivation and commitment has always been the key to our business. It doesn't matter where you live. You don't have to live in the city to have a thriving business. You can live in the bush. It's to find your unique talent and put it to use.
Well done. Our congratulations to Yvonne and Neil and their little nippers. Our third finalist in this category, Pindari WA, provides building solutions and labour hire services in, you guessed it, Western Australia.
My name's David Bedek. My company's name is Pindari WA, and I was born in Port Hedland. My mother's Noongar and my grandfather's Newbally. Pindari has 3 core streams of business: labour hire, testing and tagging, and also building solutions. Our core customers are blue chip industrials, BHP, Rio Tinto, Woodside Oil and Gas. I had a happy childhood. I guess we all looked after each other. Yes, and we were a close-knit community and a very, very happy extended family. Growing up in Port Hedland, I knew if I wanted to have a better life, I had to put my head down and, my backside up and work for it. I started Pindari WA in 2008. I saw an opportunity in the iron ore industry, and I decided I'd do a degree because as much as I thought I knew my trade and I was already operating my own business, I felt I needed to be tertiary qualified for not only the experience, the knowledge, but also the credibility in this industry. I enrolled in a Bachelor of Business and did an accounting double major. We started in 2008 with effectively 2 people, and now we have, I think, about 65. We initially only provided the electrical services and labour hire. We saw the opportunity to provide carpenters, painters, and we also saw the opportunity to do the refurbishment work. It's a real challenge to operate in the mining industry because there is a lot of competition out there and there is a lot of hype and a lot of focus in the media, and the broader community really want to get involved in the Holy Grail. There's a lot of competition, and we can only differentiate ourselves with the quality of service we provide. There's a lot of pride at all levels in our company. I think the client sees that. I believe we have a very sound reputation. Last year we were finalists in the Rio Tinto Supplier Recognition Program out of, I think, about 80 invitees and 5,000 vendors for Rio Tinto. The logistics of operating a fly-in, fly-out business remotely is incredible. You juggle people around. You rely on multimedia and your mobiles and email. What also drove me to really pursue this business was that I thought I could draw young Aboriginal people from their communities into the mining industry to give them a trade such that when they go back to the communities, they can apply that trade and take ownership and pride and not be bound to the mining industry, because there's only so many grader operators that the council needs. I just saw the longevity in that. Young Indigenous guys that I meet on site do say to me, look, I'm really thinking about starting my own business. I just say to them, look, if you think it's a good idea and you're confident, just give it a go. You got to trust your gut and give it your best shot.
Mr. David Piddock. And finally, from Matraville in Sydney, we have Burry Building and Design.
My name's Will Morgan, and our company is Burry Building and Design Proprietary Limited. Our country is Dungutty from northern New South Wales. Burry means home or place of belonging. We build new homes for various government agencies. We do small to medium commercial projects, interior, exterior refurbishments, pretty much all aspects of the building game. I had a pretty good upbringing. I had a lot of friends that didn't. We didn't come from a lot of money, but we had good work ethics, and at an early age we were into the workforce, whether it be pushing trolleys or peeling potatoes. I was playing professional rugby league. I got cut at a very early age. It was just one of those things, and I didn't know what I was going to become. And then went to Tamworth, started playing football with the local side, and that's where I met the coach, who was in the building game, and he had a friend that was willing to give us a go, and it started from there. Burry Building and Design was established in January 2010 by two directors, being myself and my wife Shana. We had to finance the company for the first 12 months. We sold our family home. It was a bit of a risk, but Shana and I have strong beliefs, and we really thought that we were going to push through and make something of the company. For the first year, we worked out of one of the bedrooms at Shana's parents' place, and on any given day, you could have 6 people in that one room, which was quite hard, and I can't thank my in-laws enough, really. Our vision has always been Aboriginal employment and educating our fellow Aboriginal brothers and sisters, and just giving them something to look forward to, and also helping their families. We were doing refurbishments originally. I took a punt on constructing new homes, and we're hoping to get into the large-scale projects. Our main target is government agencies, where we are adapting to their rules and regulations. Originally we had 5 employees, and that's grown now to 13 full-time staff and 5 casual staff. Financially, we've grown year to year. As you can see, we've got a brand new office that we built in early 2011 to showcase what we're capable of. Shana is studying for a diploma in interior design, and our goal would be to obviously design and build new homes. Shana and I work as a really good team, and we support each other 100%, and I think that's what gets us by. We have the same beliefs. If I get down at any stage, she's always there for me, and vice versa, I suppose.
Congratulations to Will and Shana, and let's show our support and appreciation for all the finalists in the Indigenous category tonight. Now, as well as the certificates of recognition, our finalists in all categories have enjoyed free luxury travel, transfers from Astra limousines, top-of-the-line accommodation courtesy of the Shangri-La Hotel Sydney. They've also received from Moet Hennessy Australia a bottle of the premium Hennessy XO, and from Chocogram a delicious chocolate surprise, not unlike the ones we're all going to be enjoying later tonight on our tables. The winner in each category will receive one of the beautiful crystal trophies, plus $10,000 from the National Australia Bank and 2 return business class tickets courtesy of China Southern Airlines to their European destinations. Of course, for all those great prizes, we must again thank our generous sponsors, which brings me to our newest sponsor, the Diversity Council of Australia, represented tonight by its CEO, Noreen Young. Please welcome her to the stage. Now, Noreen, I'm extremely privileged to be an ambassador for the Diversity Council of Australia, but for those who don't know what it's all about, please tell us.
Diversity Council Australia has about 190 members, mostly large organisations. We promote workplace diversity, which really has gone to women and gender up until the last couple of years. We're working really hard around making sure diversity practice in organisations, as personified by our members like National Australia Bank, Joseph here tonight, who we've worked very closely with over a long period of time, take up other and emergent areas of diversity practice. Australian women, for example, aren't all the same. We're different and we come from different backgrounds. A lot of the focus has been on women, but we're all really different, and the flexibility agenda is one that we work really hard on, as you know, Tracy.
I do indeed. You do some tremendous work. I know you're very passionate about the awards. What do you see as the future of these awards and the relationship with Diversity Council Australia?
Well, I think what our involvement in the awards means is the kind of marrying up, I suppose, of large employers and large organisations and small organisations where people are working themselves and establishing businesses. And I certainly have worked around Aboriginal business for a long time, and it's an absolute honour and a pleasure for us to be marrying our part of workplace diversity with this part of workplace diversity and being invited into the wonderful Ethnic Business Awards family and Angela and Joseph's world.
It is a perfect partnership, isn't it? Noreen Young, thank you so much.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a short break and we'll be back soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Tracy Spicer.
Welcome back to Le Montage of the 24th Ethnic Business Awards. Before we present the finalists in the small business category, it's time for another of our international acts. These artists have performed in some of the world's most iconic venues with celebrated names like Zakir Hussain, John Abercrombie, Richard Tognetti and the Australian Chamber Orchestra. Joseph and James Tawadros aren't afraid to try new things. Challenging traditional musical forms and pushing boundaries, they bring an exciting performing dynamic to the stage. With an aria for world music, 5 Limelight Awards and 9 consecutive aria nominations for world music and jazz, playing an original composition tonight, please welcome from Egyptian heritage, Joseph and James Tawadros. ladies and gentlemen, Joseph and James Tawadros. International cooperation, innovation, excitement and accomplishment are the ideal introduction to finalists in the small business category. These finalists are drawn from businesses with an average annual turnover of up to $5 million. They all have to have been born outside of Australia, and they'd all been judged with reference to obstacles and hardships overcome, ingenuity in the marketplace, growth, future potential, their contribution to their community and business landscapes, and of course their overall success. Tonight we'll meet the last 4 candidates remaining after more than 150 nominations, already an extraordinary achievement. Let's meet the 4 finalists, and again, this is in no particular order. First, a finalist from Sydney, New South Wales, Continental Patisserie Australia, with Managing Director Jian Yao.
My name is Jian Yao. My company is Continental Patisserie. We are a patisserie wholesale, dealing with 4- or 5-star hotels, airline in the first class, business class, sports events, function place. I come from Shanghai. I worked as a town planner and architect for 6 years before I came to Australia. At the time I was young and never been overseas, and you want to know what is outside of China. I came by myself, and I got to the school arranging my accommodation when I arrived. Then they forgot, believe it or not. So I don't know where I could stay first night. Ernest Fossil was a person who started a company about 25 years ago, and I found myself a job in Continental Patisserie as a kitchen hand. Then 4 years' time, I was already in charge for the whole factory. Until 2000, Ernest came and asked me if I could carry the company on. Initially, I said no, I couldn't do it, and I have no experience in business. So I keep saying no for nearly 12 months. Ernest tried to talk me into, so at the end, I said, okay, let's give it a go. The first 3 years was really hard. Sometimes I couldn't even pay myself a wage. But one thing I made sure, even I draw cash from my credit card, our staff always gets paid. The business has grown more than 3 times now since I took over to today. We have over 65 staff. The quality of the product, we're always ahead of all our competitors. We're always looking for new innovation, and we always create new things. That's one of the key success, I think, in our company. I'm the team manager for Australia Pastry team, and we won the Asian Pastry Cup this year, a couple months ago in Singapore. Our majority business is in Sydney, but we do have distributors from Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, and in Queensland. 4 years ago, I started to set up another factory I call Continental Patisserie Shanghai, and next we're just about to launch a product in UK and France. Our production is already running on over 100% right now. So we are looking at a new factory right now, and ideally I'm looking for a block of land, and I would like to use my architect skill to design my own factory. I think if you have a dream, if you're willing to work hard, and there's opportunity. Come here without anything and to be what I am now. And I think the environment of this country that made me a success.
Jian Yao. Now, from light and fluffy pastry to precast concrete, and from Croatia to Dandenong South in Victoria, we have Milenko Kuzmanovic and Versatile Precast Industries.
My name is Milenko Kuzmanovic. Our company is Versatile Precast Industry. Our companies make precast concrete components, bypasses, also for the dam, for example, desalination projects and so on. I was born in Croatia. I came to this country in 1970, just before Christmas time. In Yugoslavia, it was very much oppressed society. I felt that if I stayed there, my opportunities probably would be zero. Very, very small when we sort of, started. It was a small twin cab truck, tools, wheelbarrow, and from there we went sort of, bigger, come to the stage where I met my Aussie woman. I was very lucky because she did have the same capability as me, maybe even more, because her job in a office as far as the contracts and all that is much more harder than probably what I'm doing outside. Our clients could be Water Authority, Vic Roads, Lighton, John Holland, Tees, Abbey Group, and then we have a smaller one, Fulton Hogan. The next project will be at Catherine, which is in Northern Territory. That will be 24 apartments. It will be total precast concept for that project, yeah. Well, reputation, you must have a good reputation in this industry, otherwise if you don't, you cannot survive. I guess it's a probably experience that you sort of, through the innovation. I think if you're not able to see, when you're approaching each particular job, how can you sort of, do it better than anybody else and sort of, faster. So innovation is a main component even, I think, what we're doing today. Well, new factory, it will be, it's not finished yet. We finished all the foundations. We have done ourselves all the structural steel. We made all the concrete panels. So in general, we'll nearly finish 90% of the work ourselves. Yeah. We have been associated here with local clubs. One particular one is Dandenong City Soccer Club, and that engages a lot of young people, including many, many nationalities. Growth expectation, I believe, will be pretty good in here, but I think for us to expand further, I believe the Middle East is a place because it has the money. I think the future looks very, very good. As far as Australia, you can't compare that with, I would say, with any country in the world. I feel happy, proud that I sort of, come to this country, and then even today, if you ask me how I feel, am I more Croatian than Aussie, I would say, well, I'm more Aussie because I spend most of my sort of life here.
Milenko Kuzmanovic, congratulations. And now from New South Wales, originally from Jordan, Meher Maghrabre and EasyMart Proprietary Limited.
My name is Meher Maghrabre, and my company name is called EasyMart. EasyMart is a small supermarket store, similar to convenience store. And we have 41 stores now for whole group. Yeah, I came from Jordan. I was thinking to come to Sydney in 2000 for Sydney Olympic. I was a taekwondo player before, but I lost the selection for Sydney Olympic. In 2001, my dad, he said, go finish your study in Australia. When I come over here, I have many friends. I know them through the taekwondo over the years. From the first day I came, they took me everywhere and took me as well to other states. When I came to Australia, I came as a student. I don't have any money. When I started working, I've been working long hours, sometimes 18 hours a day, sometimes overnight. 2005, I bought the share in convenience store in Bondi Beach, underneath of Swiss Grand Hotel. And when I started business, I started in small amount of money. After that, I bought more share in it. And in 2006, I started open other stores. Every store have different name. Bondi Convenience Store, Coogee Convenience. And one of the shop, I named it in my daughter name, my first daughter name. And after I said we have to have one brand for us. In July last year, we registered EasyMart as a trading name. We changed all the names, we rebrand all the stores to EasyMart. Now we have our name everywhere. The real estate agent and the landlords of starting now offer us a good location. Before we've been looking for it, we've been trying hard to get a lease or location. Now the real estate agents and the landlords, they're looking for us to have us over there. When I go to the United States, Canada, Europe, I look how it look like the convenience store there. I get the idea from overseas, mix it with the idea here to make the shops better than the normal store what they have. We import as well some product doesn't have it in Australia to have something special. As well, we have Easy Mart Aqua Water. It's spring water from Sydney, and we have it in all the stores. Mainly, our competition is 7-Eleven. They got the famous everywhere, but they have limited in line. We have more lines than 7-Eleven, and we have promotion and cheaper prices. My future plan, we think to have something worldwide. We like to be everywhere. What I done in Australia, if I start in the same business in other country, I'm not gonna get what I done in Australia. It's a great country. I love it.
Congratulations. Our last finalist in the group is also from New South Wales, which has done really well this year in the categories. But I can assure you there were dozens of amazing nominations from all over the country. Originally from Lebanon, let's meet Salim Sukar and the Green Valley Corporation.
My name is Salim Sukar, and my company name Green Valley Dairy Corporation. We do goat yogurt, we do natural yogurt, cow milk, cheese, yogurt cheese ball, make labneh, yogurt spread, and shanglish, all Lebanese family tradition. I came here in 1969. I was 17 years old. You see, in Lebanon we have a hard time, yes, especially our family. Yeah, I've seen many wars. Actually, I born in Lebanon, always strong. My uncle was here before, he went holiday to Lebanon. Then he talked about Australia. I said, you want to go? I said, yeah, all right. As a young man, I was lonely here. There's not many friends or relatives, whatever. You say, it's not easy, But soon you earn money, you'll be happy, meet people young. Australia is a good country for young people. First job, I work in the railway. I stay maybe a couple of weeks. I don't like it, Then the next job, I found a construction job. When I decided to quit the welding, I decided to settle down somewhere here in Sydney. When I bought the 5-acre here, I find men with a 2 nice goat. I said, what do you do with them? He said, when I sell them? I said, yes, how much you want? I said, $50 each. I said, bring me fella home, They have a lot of milk. I don't know what to do with them. I can't eat it all, Some friend come here, I give him some, or make some little bit of cheese. He looked at it and very happy. He only see it back home and never see it here. Then I offer him and say, just take it. If you sell it, good, give me the money. If you don't sell it, keep it, eat it home. Yeah, before I get home, he ring me back. He want more. Then I decide to build nice big dairy because I know the goat milk is valuable money. It's really valuable. What happened, the goat wouldn't last long. Yeah, I wake up in the morning, I find all the goat dead in the shed. All of them. Poison, I don't know what happened to them. I know a lot of dairy people that breed Australia all in the country, Everyone who has a little bit of milk they want to sell, I buy. Then we start employing people. And now we have a Ford driver. We have a Ford truck on the road every week. 6, 7 on packaging machine. And now, 2, 3 months ago, I start with Coles. They go crazy about the product, sell very good, and they want more. Well, I have done a good thing. This company I built now is gonna last very long. Gonna employ a lot of people. I'm not worried about how much I make money. To me, I wanna run the company successfully and expand. I'm looking for next few years, I'm gonna spend 10 to 15 million on this company. Australia is a good place to have a new life.
How about a round of applause for Salem and all of our small business finalists tonight. Now, before we meet the finalists in the large business category, we have another special treat for you. The son of Italian immigrants, a man whose colourful career has seen him perform with acclaim from New York to Nashville, from Tokyo to Milan, Dusseldorf to Rome, and all over Australia, now resident in Sydney. Please put your hands together for actor, singer, songwriter, pianist and recording artist, Australia's Italian son of song, with My Love from his album Ciao Bella, the brilliant Alfredo Malabello.
Every time I close my eyes, dreaming about you, baby. Doesn't come as no surprise when I think of the way you dance around. I can almost taste you running wild. I catch you with both feet on the ground. Gonna knock you off then, baby. Gonna make you twist and shout. Gonna wrap my arms around you and show you what my love's all about. I've been waking lonely, thoughts of you all through my head, shaking up the last of last night's dreams that leave me sweating in my bed. Can you hear me calling out to you as you lay there sleeping all alone? Is there anything that I can do to make you come to me? To melt the ice around your heart, turn your thoughts to me, and I'll show you what my love's all about. If I get to have my way, you will be with me all the time. And all I really want to say is I can't get you off my mind. Every day and every night, there in the darkness, baby. You're there when I turn on the light. Do I really need to be with you? Or is it just a physical attraction? Am I a fool? Or do you feel it too? Gonna start the action. Gonna make you throw away your doubts. Teach you satisfaction. And I'll show you what my love's all about.
See why Michael Bublé enjoys having Alfredo sing for him. That was My Love from his original album, Ciao Bella. Give it up again for the marvellous Alfredo Malabello. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a short break and then be back with the finalists in the medium to large business category. See you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, Please welcome back to the stage, Tracy Spicer.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to the 24th Ethnic Business Awards. What a night we're having. Indigenous dance, Egyptian musical mastery and Australia's Italian son of song. Let's meet another Italian now as we come to the finalists of the Medium to Large Business Award. These are businesses with an average annual turnover exceeding $5 million. And again, our finalists have to have been born outside Australia and are evaluated by the same criteria as the previous category. Another tough task for the judging panel, especially given the huge number of nominations. In no particular order, but starting with an Italian, now from Victoria, let's meet Carlo Travellini, Managing Director of Taylor Ferguson and Company, operating as Alapat Taylor.
My name is Carlo Travaglini, and the name of the company is Alipet Taylor. We produce wines, and we do a lot of packagings for different companies in spirits and liqueurs. I come from Italy, from Tuscany more precisely, in 1961. Oh look, it was hard, it's not that. The language obviously the biggest barrier, but also we found a lot of resistance towards migrants those days. Lionel Rose, when he won his world title, he got asked, do you find a lot of people that abuse you because you are an Aborigine? Oh, he said a few, he said, but nothing like the Italians. So in the 60s, it wasn't easy. Eventually I found a job in a fruit shop, and the owner was convinced that I could speak English perfectly. Then one day, one lady came in and she was telling me how she just buried her husband. And I was saying, very good. And the owner was listening, so he said, obviously this guy doesn't understand English. But he kept me anyway. My partner and I used to be in the grocery business. And in 1978, we purchased an existing company. We used to bottle sherries these days. We used to get 200 liters of sherries in drums and just fill them up by the old methods. Well, the little, the little rubber hose. Tough, it was tough. The first month of trading, I think we did about $2,000. In Victoria, where we have a lot of small wineries, they need somebody to do their bottlings. And I could see then that there was a future there. And slowly we went from just ourselves to about 70 people today. But our turnover today is approaching the 40 million mark. We bottled over 1 million cases. 200,000 or 300,000 is our own productions. All the rest is for contract bottling. We bottle for Foster's, Jim Beam's, Bacardi. Wine has always been a passion, you know, and even back home, we used to make our own wines. In 2004, we won a trophy and a silver medal for our Shiraz. Actually, our Shiraz was the best Shiraz of that year, which was quite good for a couple of little migrants. It was very important for us. The major aspects of our success has been the fact that we've been united in our group all the time. We've had people working for us for 35 years. Our biggest chance of growing would be in the export market, and we can see that now. We're getting approached by people from Switzerland or the US, so I can see a bright future for this country. I find a lot of satisfactions in employing people, and whenever I can get a person that is considered unemployable and I can give them a job, that to me is a big contribution. I don't think I would ever been able to do this in Italy, definitely not. I think the great opportunity in this country existed then, and I still believe that it exists today.
Please acknowledge Carlo Travellini. Well done. Next, and also from Victoria, Chinese-born Macro Dong, owner, director of Macro Groups Proprietary Limited.
My name is Macro Dong. My company name is Macro Groups. Macro Groups is involved in manufacturing, such as sheet metal fabrication, lighting, transformers, powder coatings, low voltage switchboards. Originally come from Shanghai, China in 1990. Then I come to Melbourne to do my further study. As most Chinese students can read the English, but speaking and listening was very poor. When arriving in Melbourne airport, I was supposed to have a teacher picking me up from the airport. But unfortunately, he didn't turn up to pick me up, so I had to call a cab, spend $30 out of $300 in my pocket. So I left with $270 in the pocket. That's all I have. Come here was pretty different at that time, back 20 years ago. Melbourne, Australia is like a heaven. and the people so nicely and freedom, and give me young people like me a lot of opportunity to study, to grow, and to live here. And I was lucky actually, 3-4 days after arriving in Melbourne, I found a part-time job work for an electrical company. I started first my business called Macro Power, manufacturing transformers, HRD lighting ballasts in 1995, 1 year after I graduated from Monash University. A few customers from previous company, they are encouraged me to start a business because we couldn't meet the demand. So I feel there's a gap for me to go out there to challenging and to do my own. Then later on, I bought a company I first arrived in Australia work for, which is a PowerSafe. When I first started business, I had 1 or 2 people work for me. Then I started growing from there. First few years we grow double and double. Then look back in the past 10 years, we still grow like a 30% increase. Peak time we had about 80 people work here. 30% employee they worked here over 10 years. The first employee I hired when I started back in 1995, he's still here. So people been here for a long time and they enjoy work here. Apart from the Melbourne factory here, we also have 3 factories in China. It's fully owned by me, so we can control the quality, pricing, and the delivery. We are very lucky in the business because our top 10 customers are worldwide big customers, such as NHP, Siemens, Hahnemann Electrical, CBI. There is a competition in certain area of the business, but we're unique. We combine it with electrical and sheet metal fabrication together. We're more like a one-stop shop, enclosure, transformer, and a wiring give you a finished product. But if I look to the future and I can see US market and European market, probably will take a more important role. Eventually we can supply local China market. If we can have an Australian brand manufacturing in China locally and supply Chinese market, that market is huge. So that's the future. I would say Australia is a wonderful land here, full of freedom and opportunities. When you're ready to work hard and work smart, this is the place.
Macro Dong, another tremendous story in the history of the Ethnic Business Awards. Now another contrast from sheet metal and electrical components to tissue products. Let's meet Vietnamese refugee Sin Ong, owner-director of Swan Tissue Products Australia.
My name is Sin Ong. The name of the company is Swan Tissue Product Australia. Manufacture facial tissue, toilet paper, napkin, and commercial paper products as well. We came to Australia as a bold people from the Cambodia. Pol Pot killed all my family, no good. I ran away to refugee camp in Indonesia. And luckily, I was the one picked up by one of the Australian government. They said, yes, you can come to Australia. Oh, I was very happy. But I didn't know what's Australia. I thought it was same as my country. All the Asian people all just speak the same language. And when I first came in, all different. They sent me to South Australia. Lucky I found a job working in Simpson washing machine. And I work 7 days a week and then 10 hours a day because I don't like to go home. Because when I go home, I got nothing to do. I was very lonely. And then I came in the city, married with my wife. And I worked in a tube maker in Glenville for 7 years. 1989, I get a redundancy. And with this money, I start this company. We import from 1 year. After that, a machine coming, we start manufacturing in Australia. Start tissue, box tissue first, with my wife and myself. We work in the morning, and we run 1 day, and next day I go out to sell and deliver myself. I'm the salesman and also delivery too. Beginning is very, very difficult. The marketing is very, very difficult, the marketing. We can turn the machine very fast to make a lot of product, but with the market, to get people to buy our product is very, very difficult beginning. Second year and third year, we start employ 4 people, and now we have about 12 people working for us now. At the moment, we are selling our product to the chemists and then small supermarket. In the future, we will look at another factory and then get more machine. The problem is we have to put the automatic machine, cut the labor, and the volume quicker, more product, and save the cost. So otherwise, we cannot get in this big supermarket because we have not enough capacity. Life in Australia is wonderful, and I tell my people I'm Australian now. I'm not Cambodia and Vietnamese.
Sinong and Swan Tissue Products. Finally tonight, we have, originally from Lebanon, Fadi Zuki and the Zuki Group of companies.
My name is Fadi Zuki, and the name of the company is Zuki. Zuki is a company that sets up retail precincts within hospitals. The retail precincts is made out of a mixture of businesses. The dominant factor is food and beverage, but there'll be post offices, banks, convenience stores, floristry, pharmacies, and creche. Originally, we come from Lebanon, and like many people, we had to leave Lebanon. The war was intense. We lost our mother when I was about a year old, so my father was the main carer, and he brought us across to Australia, and the big credit goes to him. It was almost like being born again. I had to go to high school and study politics, and I didn't even know who the Prime Minister of Australia was. We are very close to each other, three of us as brothers. One of us couldn't really start a business without the other because we wanted to support each other. That was the main reason. And we shared our strengths together to build this company together. Zuki started many years ago. An opportunity came up at the Alfred Hospital. There was a retail space there available, and many people discouraged us from actually developing anything within hospitals. They said, hey, you're crazy. Hospitals are for trauma, for the sick. We found out that the majority of people in the hospitals are not the sick. For example, you get a hospital with 600 beds, almost 6,000 to 7,000 people are looking after those patients. They know their food, they know their coffee, and they want some normality. Even the patients want normality. The company has grown incredibly fast because we brought success, and the success is win-win. It has been a win to us, but it's been a win to the hospital and win to the government. The company is so successful for two reasons. One is we deliver what we promise, that's very important. And more importantly, we continuously improve the standard of food and service. We compete against ourselves more than anything else. Obviously, finance is the first struggle you have because you need to get the funding to be able to spend on capital improvement and set up the business, and it takes you a while to get that money back. There are a lot of people who are trying to do what we're doing because we obviously opened the eyes to a lot of people out there in the market. They've seen Zuki very successful and they obviously want to copy us. We give back to the community through an intense sponsorship program. We also help a lot of members of the community who require financial support, employment. We came to Australia, we had a lot of chances here, a lot of opportunities. And we like to basically pay that debt back to Australia. We're doing business at the moment in Sydney, Victoria extensively, South Australia, Tasmania, Newcastle, and we are in Canberra. There is at least another 25 to 30% growth in the pipeline at the moment. Yes, Australia has a lot of opportunities. Yes, Australia is a great place for business, but be prepared to come here to put back into Australia. Be prepared to come here to look after Australia, because Australia will look after you back.
A round of applause for Fadi Zuki, his brothers, and all of our nominees in the medium to large business category. Thank you very much. We have reached a very exciting part of the evening at the 24th Ethnic Business Awards. Please welcome, first of all, to say a few words, Henry He from China Southern Airlines.
On behalf of China Southern, thank you for this great honor and wonderful pleasure to be here tonight. We are very proud to be here because these awards promote multiculturalism and reward achievement by migrants to Australia and indigenous in business. In the global diversity of Australia that welcome business like China Southern Airlines to thrive in Australia. 2 years ago, we established Australia as one of our most important markets in the world. In August, we opened a new regional head office in Sydney CBD. Now, we have Australian-based cabin crew and pilot operating on many of our flights out of Australia, like other organizations that are owned and managed by people born outside of this country. We want to be a proud part of the Australian landscape. Thank you again for this great honor to join you in such a wonderful culture event. We hope whoever wins these 3 double business class tickets from any port of our Australian service to London or Paris or Amsterdam on China Southern Airlines will have an absolutely wonderful time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Henry He from China Southern, for their extremely generous participation. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the announcement of the recipients of the Ethnic Business Awards for 2012. First, we have the award for Excellence in Indigenous Business Endeavour. This will be presented by Australia's first Indigenous federal MP, the member for Hasluck, the Honourable Ken Wyatt, who will announce the winner and have a few words.
Thanks, Tracy. Before I announce the award, I wish to acknowledge the Gadigal people on whose land we are meeting and the traditional owners of this land, their elders past, those present and those who will come in the future. I want to acknowledge the fact that we have tonight the Prime Minister here and Tony Abbott as the Leader of the Opposition. It brings together 2 people that are committed to the diversity of this nation, and certainly in terms of the Indigenous communities, the work that Tony has done in shaping some of the thinking and working to encourage the growth into areas that we've not traversed before. When I think of this nation, I see it as a tapestry of unique Australians, new Australians, and those who are considering becoming part of this great nation. But tonight we've seen people who have taken that uniqueness of vision, have taken the risk, and have contributed to their own company's growth and to their place within an economy that is growing and is a future economy within this region and within the global context. But tonight in particular, there are 4 Indigenous businesses that have done exceptionally well. They have taken their vision, put it into practice, and have succeeded, and they will continue to build on what they see as their pathway, the hopes and aspirations. Tonight it gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of the Indigenous Business section. The winner of this category is Bradley Seafood.
Well, I feel honoured and humbled to be here tonight. And thank you, Barb. I know you had confidence in me. First, as a Waka Waka woman, I'd like to pay my respect to the Gadigal people of this land on which we're standing here tonight. I accept this award on behalf of my husband Neil, as he cannot be here with me tonight to celebrate this special event, as it has been a joint effort and a very long journey for the both of us. And during the 18 years of hardship, we have used failure as a determination, and motivation has been the key to our business and our family. I'd particularly like to say thank you to the Indigenous Business Australia and our case officers, Mr Corey Evans and Mr Stephen Roberts. They have been our #1 financial supporters. IBA has strongly supported our business since 2008 and financed our marketing profile through Becky Sangster or Patla Mix, business plans and mentoring by our accountant, Mr Ian Fraser. And we also appreciate the Department of Housing and Land local government for their support in purchasing equipment that is a vital asset to our business. Mostly importantly, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of Manigura Station, the Anderson family, who gave us permission to set up our tent in 1994. Last of all, I'd like to wish all the other finalists success in their business ventures for the coming years, and everyone too can be successful with positive influences from others, because in some way we are all connected. So stay strong and believe in yourself.
Please again congratulate from the Northern Territory, Yvonne and Bradley Seafood. I'd now like to call upon Senator the Honourable Kate Lundy, Minister for Multiculturalism and Minister Assisting for Industry and Innovation, to present the award in the small business category and to say a few words.
The small business category is an incredibly important one, not least because such a huge proportion of our economy relies on the small businesses. They are the driver of employment and growth, and it's the entrepreneurial spirit that the people in this room bring to that gives it such colour and such vibrancy. And how lucky are we to be so culturally diverse? It is a strength. It's a strength in what it brings to our capacity to innovate. It's an enormous strength in what it gives us with our ties, our people-to-people relationships with the rest of the world. And all of these strengths contribute to making Australia the great nation that it is. One not without challenges, but challenges that we are able to face and are prepared to face. And in the week of the launch of the white paper about Australia in the Asian century, it's both timely and appropriate that we're here tonight to celebrate the great achievements of our small businesses. And for that I acknowledge and thank them, because they have become part of what is the great Australian story. Thank you for the work you do, and congratulations to all of the nominees and winners tonight. And it's my great pleasure to announce the winner of the small business category of the 2012 Ethnic Business Awards. And the winner this evening is Green Valley Corporation.
Well, thank you very much for this evening. It's a great honor to win such an honor, you know, and it's given me confidence to keep doing my good work. Then we are very happy to see this evening, you know. Thank you very much.
Salim Supar, I'm sure that your business, like those of all the other finalists in this category, will be moving up into the next category in the coming years and helping the Australian economy to power ahead. Our congratulations to you, a very worthy winner. Well, now we come to the last award of the evening, the Medium to Large Business Award, presented by the founding partner, the National Australia Bank. Would you please welcome Mr Joseph Healy, Group Executive for Business Banking.
Thank you very much, Tracy. We've been associated with Ethnic Business Awards since its inception 24 years ago as a founding partner, and that relationship just grows from strength to strength every year. And I certainly look forward to the next 24 or 25 years in helping recognise the marvellous achievements of the many, many small businesses from ethnic backgrounds that make such a huge contribution to our economy and to our society and to our communities. So for all of those here this evening who have been successful enough in getting to this final round. In my view, you're all winners, and I congratulate you from the bottom of my heart on your fantastic success and your inspirational approach to building businesses. Now, just on that, for those of you who bank with the NAB, I'd like to thank you very much for your custom. And for those of you who want to grow to become even bigger businesses, we're very happy to talk to you. But congratulations, everyone. And the winner, the Zuki Group of Companies.
I'm speechless. It's an extraordinary honor to be here tonight in such a distinguished company. We are extremely proud to accept this award on behalf of my co-directors, my brothers, Sam and Joseph. While the three of us have worked together tirelessly to develop the Zuki brand and build our business, to build up each step of the way, we have had some wonderful people supporting us, friends, family, employees, and consultants. Special occasions like this gives us the opportunity to thank the people that really matter. So tonight, my brothers and I express our sincere thanks to all of our executive team and each of every Zuki staff member who has helped us reach this position of having a wealth of opportunities to continue growing long into the future. If I had to put our success down to any one individual, though, it would be our amazing father, Mr. Mufid Zuki. To expand on the famous line from your book, In Someone Else's Shoes, Mr. Asaf, while Sam, Joe, and I each came here from Lebanon with our suitcases full of dreams, our father was the person who packed our bags. Mufid Zuki taught us to reach for happiness and let success follow, to strive for our dream without compromising the values of humility, generosity, and humanity he had instilled in us. Our father taught us to be good citizens of the world first and foremost, to always cherish our beloved Lebanon, and to equally embrace our new home, not as migrants, but as true Australians. Being Australian gives us the confidence to not only chase our migrant dreams, but to dream even bigger. For giving us the confidence, I would like to thank every Australian who has embraced us as people first and business people second, and the succession of Australian governments that has provided the climate of acceptance and multicultural encouragement that led to the creation and continuation of these awards for some 24 years. My brothers and I would like to thank the judges of these awards for believing in us. We would also like to thank Mr. Joseph Asaf and the Ethnic Business Awards Committee, along with the National Australia Bank and all many sponsors who have enabled us to share our story and to hopefully inspire others across the magnificent multicultural community. Tonight, you are all winners, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a fabulous night. When Joseph Asaf conceived the Ethnic Business Awards nearly a quarter of a century ago, it was his dream that by celebrating achievements such as these and honouring those who have themselves dared to dream, we might make Australia an even better and more vibrant place to do business. He has certainly realised that dream. The suitcase is full of enterprise, success and optimism for the future. Except, I know that he'll pull me up on that. It's not full, he'll say. There's plenty of room for more next year. Until then, let's show our appreciation once more for these new and Indigenous Australians who've turned their dreams into reality. Thank you so much. I'd once again like to thank our sponsors, without whom This would be not possible. The National Australia Bank, Joseph Asif and his team at the Ethnic Business Awards, the Department of Immigration and Citizenship, the Department of Industry, Innovation, Science, Research and Tertiary Education, the Diversity Council of Australia, China Southern Airlines, the Shangri-La Hotel Sydney, the Navara Group, Hill & Knowlton, eWeb Marketing, Astra Limousines, SBS, the Aurora Community Channel, Australian Network, NITV, TVBA, El Telegraph, Indian Link, Top Korean Weekly, the 1688 Chinese Newspaper Group, Singtao, Chujung, Neos Cosmos and Blackbiz. So, to you and everyone watching from the Sarah Grand Ballroom in Sydney's Le Montage and the 24th Ethnic Business Awards, thank you and have a very good evening.
Thanks for watching the Ethnic Business Awards. Please join us again next year.